So after I finished your video, man, I didn't really know what to think. I was kind of stumped, so I just was gazing over my bookshelf, and I saw this book, Synchronicity and Acausal Connecting Principle by Carl Gustav Jung. And just opened a random page and read a paragraph, and it happened to be about the muse. And the muse is definitely the antithesis almost of logic, or the logos, which is what I think of when I hear the word logic. And in a sense, I guess I'm just conditioned to interpret that word in a certain way because I tend to use it in a certain sense with a certain meaning or connotation attached to it. For me, logos or logic implies something that's rationally intelligible and that we can speak out loud about and be explicit about. We can write it down, hand it to somebody. It's very linear and flat, and it's not very, it's impossible to interpret wrongly. It's just very, it's given, it's obvious. Whereas a muse is more creative and unconscious and unseen and subtle, and it's hard to differentiate the mechanism of the muse. The muse is more organic, I suppose, whereas the logos is definitely a mechanistic type of operation. And I just watched the videos that you linked to. I watched the first Paul Lafley interview, and that guy is a genius. I can't believe I've never heard of this guy before. And, you know, I'm glad that you put him out there because I'm going to watch every single one of the videos I can find about him now. Now, as far as this Terence McKenna stuff about time being a spiral that's winding tighter and tighter as the epochs go on towards the transcendental object at the end of time, we sometimes call it, or just the increase in novelty until everything is connected to everything else in such an intricate way that it can't possibly become any more novel. The singularity occurs, or maybe that's when his time wave equation ends, right? When the I Ching sequence sort of just falls off the edge of the universe. But I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, certainly if the whole idea of the mind-body dualism being just a way of speaking, and we shouldn't take it too seriously, is to make sure that we don't ever separate the world from who we are, or nature from man, or subject from object, or any of these dualisms, because when we do, we end up doing something like we're doing here, which is separating the logos from the muse, or thinking from feeling. Because when you talked about there being this order, disorder, chaos pattern going on out there in the world, and then the emotion, manifestation, and logical process going on in here, I think is what you said. That's a fine metaphor, and I definitely can feel what you're trying to express, but at the same time I'm still kind of confused by it because it's all these words that I've never used together in this way, and so I'm trying to understand what the relationships between the words that are being used here really are and how they relate to one another, and it's difficult because I've never thought of it this way. So maybe this is just a preliminary response, and we'll have to continue discussing it and evolving it and having it flow through us, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go look for more Paul Lafley videos.